I drink non-caffeinated tea in the afternoons. People have told me I don't need caffeine, and that is correct. I don't. I love, and I'm very energetic. So yeah, again, welcome everybody. If you have any questions, drop them in the Q&A section in Zoom. If you can't find that, it's in your Zoom bar at the very bottom. You'll see a Q&A little tab, and it's got 2 chat bubbles, which is interesting in itself. But if you don't want to type out that question, that is perfectly fine. Go ahead and just raise your hand in Zoom and I can bring you up as well. I lost my chat. So if you have been chatting, I apologize. Yep, I'm here for y'all. So this is, I can talk a lot about, probably if no one asks any questions right away, I'm going to talk about inbound and why you should attend inbound. All right, I'm going to drop in another poll real fast about inbound specifically. And then I've got to end the other one, which is awesome. And then we're going to launch this inbound one as well, just to get an idea of what you all. So check out the Q&A section or the poll section real quick. Just answer that poll real fast. That will give me a good idea of what might be beneficial. No and no. Okay. Awesome. Getting some answers in there. Thanks, y'all. Yes, I said y'all. So if you're not from the South, I am from the South. All right. So with that, I I got a good mix. This is pretty good. I like this. If you don't know what Inbound is HubSpot's conference. They've been running it for a while. It is an awesome experience. It is everything inbound. Everything from learning from industry people, learning tips and tricks, and learning from academy people, and even learning from other vendors like LinkedIn. I think it was last year. I think there might have even been a Twitter section. There was a bunch. There's a bunch of integrations as well out there that show up, like Chili Piper. Sorry. There was Jasper is out there. There were so many, it was overwhelming. But with that, it is a great experience. It is everything, like I said, HubSpot. There are some really cool speakers, and I want to say they announced maybe Reese Witherspoon might be going this year. I can't remember now that I said that, but there are some great agendas to look at. So if your main focus is marketing, check out the marketing agenda down there. If it's sales and business development, again, I'm just reading the screen, but inbound.com is where you can buy and get tickets. There's an AI section there, so that might be beneficial, because I don't know if you all know this, but AI is becoming more and more available to the marketers, to the salespeople, to just about everyone, even on the graphic side. But there is bad uses as well. So again, knowing the best way to use a tool like AI, like even ChatGPT, ChatSpot, any of those tools is a great way to get at Inbound is a great way to get an idea of what, hey, this is what's going on in those kind of items. Branding and creative, there's a lot of people talking about how to do go-to-market strategies, how to brand and execute those kind of things out there. And there's C-level talks. And then the community is probably one of the best things to go there. You will meet so many people from champions, community champions. If you don't know what a community champion is, or you've never posted a question on the HubSpot form, what I have up here is the HubSpot community form. Basically, you can post any type of question you have, and HubSpotters, like people employed by HubSpot, will answer. But what I will tell you is you will probably get a lot of, so let me jump into the marketing one, responses from people who are not even employed by HubSpot. So for example, this person, Jolie, or Jacob, he is not a part of HubSpot, but he is a HubSpot champion and a certified trainer. So it is just a great way to get questions and answers while you're in the between, say, open office hours and stuff like that. I say all these things is the community is awesome. It's a lot of fun. There's even, they had a comedian last year, and it was a lot of fun. There's always a lot of beer around that, and that was shocking to me, just how much beer there was. And Boston's a beautiful city to explore in itself. So if you don't know what Inbound is, go check it out at .com. If you do and you've not been, go. It is an experience. We personally, I have gone. I would go this year, but I have some personal things going on where I can't travel this September. But it is an experience. So I'm having to sell my tickets. So if you need tickets to Inbound, please let me know, because my ticket prices are a lot cheaper than buying it at admission cost today. Okay. So just let me know on that. With that, somebody's got to raise a hand. Somebody's got to bring in a question, because right now Justin is just talking, and I got a question. It wasn't dropped into the Q&A, but that's okay, Cameron. I'm going to call you out. I'm going to bring you up off mute. Let's have a dialogue. Let me stop my cheesy music in the background real fast. Justin likes to have the cheesy music in the background. With that, I'm going to say real quick, I'm going to do share, not share, and bring you up, Cameron. Let's just chat it out real quick, because I want to understand your understanding of Operations Hub. So his question was, what is Operations Hub and what can you do with it? So I'm going to bring you up, Cameron. Let's chit chat.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. Well, I don't know anything about it. I've only ever used their marketing and sales stuff. And after I saw you post questions about it, it made me curious about what you can do with it, because I'm curious how similar it is to the product I'm trying to create.
All right, so let's bring up, what I'm going to do is bring up the software page and then go into a little bit more use cases and show it in the back end as well. Okay.
Yeah.
With that, the product page itself, so software going down to Operations Hub, it gives you a way to sync with additional systems out there through different configurations. That's one of the items. So here you get more control over integration sync. So like if a company is using HubSpot and say Microsoft Dynamics or even Salesforce, they can do more configuration options within Operations Hub. Okay. The other thing is, which I will bring up in a demo portal for you as well, is you can automate any type of code you can think of. So what is called running custom code. You can do it in a node aspect, or you can flip it over to a area called Python. So you can write in JavaScript or you can write in Python. And those custom code actions can do almost anything you can think of. Okay, there's a couple sets of libraries. And then the other thing that you can do as well is a center for data processing and data sets. That's in the enterprise version, data sets, but then you can also access custom report builder. One of the cool things that you do get with Operations Hub Pro, okay, so I'm going to switch over to a portal. It is a system called HubDB. Okay, and HubDB is basically a database structure that you can create and set up. So you can see here, I've got this events, demo events, start and date, time, end time, location, what city and state was added. This is basically a mocked up database in your portal. But then I could actually go to my website front end or my landing page front end and actually pull in this information from a database standpoint instead of having to call an external source. The other thing that you can do in Operations Hub is, like it said on that example, is coming in here and doing custom code formatting data. So a lot of times, let's say good use case is last name or first name comes in with a all capitalized, right? Well, let's change all of them to capitalize only the first letter and output that. Okay. These are things that you get in Operations Hub. The other item that I like a lot is you can do the custom code, like I said, Node and Python. The other item is you can bring in and do external resources like hitting, say, like Google Maps API, hitting any, honestly, external source. Justin's blinking out at this moment. Things that I have done is math equations that are not easily done or that you don't want to try to do in any other aspects. I've done some fun, crazy nesting of what is called HubSpot formatting. So for example, if we said, let's lowercase everything, and then outside of it, what we would do is then say, capitalize the first letter, lowercase, boom, boom, like that. Then I'm going to say contact dot first name, something like that. Okay. I know that's not the right insert formula because we would bring in first name, bring that in. So it would come in like that. So now you can see here's an example. So if I wanted to say Justin, there's my test. But if I just did lower, it would just do it to that. So again, this opens up additional functionality within the HubSpot side. Webhooks come in on Marketing Pro. You can only do post and gets. Custom code allows you to do any type of like webhook post or get information, even from the HubSpot data fields as well. I really like it from that standpoint. The other thing that I like a lot about Operations Hub is in the contact side, there's a data quality screen, and you can see how many have formatting issues, how many are duplicates, and you can automate the fixing of a lot of these things. So for example, email address looks invalid. I can come over here to the right, and then let's turn on these, remove first name from last name, and let's capitalize. And those automations will run in the background. Some formatting issues won't fix automatically. So we can just say, boom, let's correct those, pull those out, done. We get that data tool. And then we also get down here in the data syncs in my demo account. I don't have a data sync going. But another data sync would be like Dynamics, ConnectWise, Salesforce, NetSuite, all those. You can see the health of that sync on that side. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Do they
Does it open
share?
up more?
Yeah, I was gonna say, do people share their like stuff they've created as well? Because it looked like you were showing like custom JavaScript and also like or Python. It's like have people shared,
Yeah, so there
nodes
is an
they've
awesome,
created and
there's an awesome community in Slack for the developer side.
Mhm.
So HubSpot has some resources. I think it's got like 7 or so examples for you. But what I'll tell you is I publicize a lot of my free ones that aren't client specific. So for example, if you wanted to work with circle.so or maybe Google Maps or HubSpot or Thinkific, I've got a Google Maps that takes an address to a time zone. Okay. So sometimes when you import, and that's a custom action, that's a custom code that you could just drop in. Okay. Putting
Mhm.
that in that use case is specifically, hey, I get a city and state from a partner, but I want to make sure I email them in the right time zones. Well, how can we set that time zone? Well, instead of doing it manually, we could use a workflow with Operations Hub Pro or higher and run this custom code to then say, what's my time zone? Okay, that's the time zone it needs to be for that account. Things like that, right? So there is, like, if you looked on the community, if you joined the dev Slack, you would see a bunch there as well.
Is that free for anybody to join?
Mm-hmm. It is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just a community of people helping each other with developing questions.
I will check that out.
Awesome.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember me, but yeah, I'm the one trying to get or working on getting a job at
Yeah,
HubSpot.
yeah, I remember. What I can do, Cameron, shoot me your email address and I can
Mhm.
invite you to the Slack channel. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Or actually, here, what I'll do, don't send me your email address. I'll just post it to here. There you go. I just sent it to you. So that's the HubSpot dev that you can join in
All
Slack.
right. Thank you.
Yeah. I live in there's another guy named Carter that's really helpful as well. He's out of actually Franklin, Tennessee. We chat a lot in there. It's fun. It's fun helping people, and it's also good to know what kind of questions you're trying to do, or even what you're asking. Is it even feasible? Right? Because a lot of times us developers or even people from the business side are like, hey, is this even feasible? Well, I don't know. Let me go ask. Has anybody ever done X, Y, and Z?
Yeah.
Awesome. Good question. Any other ones that you have,
Me or
Cameron?
you talking
Yeah, just you right now
about?
because I got you off mute.
At the top of my head, I can't think of anything. I could probably just keep peppering you with stuff, but
Well,
I'm
cool.
here to
If
learn as well
awesome.
because
If you
I've used the product, but I don't know it nowhere as much as you do.
well, hey, that's okay. Whatever you think of from a question standpoint, that's what we're here for. So don't think any question is like, well, I shouldn't ask him that. I'll just go Google. I could save you a lot of time Googling, right?
Mhm.
So just thinking about it from that aspect is that you can get because I know some other people are like, well, what is HubSpot has a cell phone app? Yes, and it's pretty powerful that you can do a lot of stuff in the cell phone app. So just don't ever assume any question is too small to ask because probably somebody else in this webinar has that same question. They're just not asking it in the Q&A section.
Mhm.
All right, folks, I need you. Come on, I need you. What's got the next question? I'm going to put you back off mute, but if you want to raise your hand or you want to drop another question in, Cameron, just drop it in. Thanks for that question, man. That was good. Operations Hub is probably one of the newer hubs out there. It has got a lot of focus, but I will tell you that HubSpot CMS, the CMS hub, is getting a lot of effort as well, and the sales side of things. For you portal like super admins out there, I want to show you something that's very beneficial that I love to live in, because you might not see every update. If you're on LinkedIn and you're the portal admin, one thing that I will recommend is that you follow the super admins. Where is it? HubSpot admin, not that one. Where is it? I'm looking for the group. Yeah, this one right here. So HubSpot tips and tricks. This is a great LinkedIn. I think it's actually designed as a company. It's not a group, but they post from Kyle, does a lot of tips and tricks, new things, but a lot of times we're not going to see all those new things. And in your portal, if you click on your teeny tiny picture up here and go down to product updates, you will always see everything that's coming out, what's changing, all those fun items. Okay. And one of the cool things is these are all live public. What you want to do is look for these public betas and jump down in the public beta, because you might be thinking, man, I really wish this is out there. I don't see it out there. Now you can't. Ooh, what is this? I can click read more. I can see an idea. Boom, I want to join that beta. Joining the betas, I've never had HubSpot's betas break on me. I've never had it fail. So anytime you find a beta that is there, I would recommend it. One of the ones for those salespeople in this webinar specifically is the prospecting tool. Oh, they might have launched it. Let me see. Let's go here. Let's see. So yeah, it is prospecting. I'm already in it. That's why this tool, you have to enable the prospecting, but it's really cool. It will show you all your sales tasks, any overdue task, what's going on in sales sequences, what are going on in your calendar. I love it. It's very streamlined and it's very dashboardish for just a salesperson to go in. And even looking at the scheduling or looking at your feed, it is a great thing to see. So I would recommend definitely adding in the prospecting beta if you're not already in it. Again, that is simple as going to product updates, going down to betas, and just scrolling through. And I bet I joined it a long time ago and I don't remember. That's what Justin does. Justin is in our main portal. This is my demo account. We typically live in almost every beta there. So I need your questions, folks. We are here to answer your questions. I can't really show you things unless you give me a question and I can explain things. So I'm here for you right now. You've got me. Let's do this. Drop in a question. All right, we're going to have a little fun while you're typing out your question. Has anybody utilized the new call to actions, the new CTAs within HubSpot? Just raise your hand. That's all you have to do. In Zoom, down there at the bottom, there's a section called emojis, I think, and you just click raise hand. Has anybody been? Rachel. I love it. So Rachel, do you need me to re-show you how to join that beta, or did you figure it out? I'm going to bring you off mute so we can just chit chat faster.
All right, perfect. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how that prospecting one, how you found it in the beta. And I'm like,
all right. So when you click on sales, do you see prospecting right there already added?
yes.
Okay. So that's it. You don't have to join the beta. They pushed it out of the betas into everybody's portal is my guess.
Okay. I thought there was going to be like maybe some instructions here.
Yeah, it used to be. right, in that product update screen. But looking at, let me see here. So do you see it in your account right now? Sales prospecting?
Yeah, it's there.
Awesome.
So I click on it, and then where is there like a video or instructions or
On how to
what it's
use
all
it?
about? Yeah.
Okay, so the way, are you currently using sequences or task within the sales side of HubSpot?
Well, so I haven't built any sequences yet, but I know what you're talking about.
Okay,
And I use
so
Task Daily.
cool. So your task list should show up here that are saying how many are due. Okay, and then over here on the right is showing you all your overdue tasks to the left, or sorry, to the right of the tasks that
Yep.
are due today. Okay, so when you start doing sequences, okay,
Mhm.
that's one, the sequences can have emails, calls, and tasks and LinkedIn requests all built into a single sequence. Okay.
Okay.
So let me mock that up for you real quick. So if we say, let's create a new one, you could choose a default one. I'm just going to create one from scratch because it's more fun. And what we're going to do here is do Rachel, if I could type today, sequence. And the first thing I'm going to do is generate a phone call. So this is going to be initial call. All right.
Okay.
So use X phone script for call number 1. Okay. So then priority, we're going to put this as a low priority, no queue right now. All right. So then add, then following that, because typically when you mark that task as complete, do we want to send an automatic email? So what I'm going to do is just pick a default template, and you can see this is going to send tomorrow, or I want to turn off a delay, right? You can have emails automatically go right away if you wanted to. Okay. Not always do they need to, but that gives you that option. This one's grayed out right here because it says automated emails must have at least a time delay. That's only after the first task. Then coming down, I can say, I want to do a LinkedIn request, reach out to prospect on LinkedIn and reference their company. And what we can do is come here. So instead of trying to hunt things up, we can actually say personalize. I didn't mean to put it up there. Come down here, personalize. And Rachel, one thing that I've really liked doing here is instead of me saying, okay, what am I going to type this time? I put my entire LinkedIn message here. So it's a copy and paste. So it's literally like, hey, first name, I saw you on LinkedIn. I'm going to be generic like all the spam on LinkedIn. And thought we should connect. Boom. I also saw, bring in the company name, recently in the news on a new contract. Congrats on that, right? So this just gives me a simple copy and paste that I can go directly to LinkedIn and send that task. So I'm going to say, don't do that. Don't pause. I want this to happen immediately with this email going out. So then this would sit in my prospecting queue saying this is what's due today. Okay. The sequences gives us the ability to not have to remember what step or what action I need to take today on those people. Okay.
Yeah.
And one of the cool things is right here, when the contact replies or books a meeting, automatically pull them out. And you can do that automatically when you're in the like sequence flow to pull them out. But you would get an idea from this snapshot. Hey, these are how many people I need to enroll. I need to enroll these many people. What else is going on? So then I can focus on what I need to do. And if you're a manager, I could say, what's seller Sally doing today? Well, she's all caught up. Perfect. Let's not look at Michelle. She's probably behind. She's always behind. But with that, you would get that sequence there and you could see, because the goal is you never, like, even if you do events, Rachel, I know you go to events a lot. I would have a follow-up event sequence. Hey, dynamically insert the event name. It was great to meet you at such and such event. I know we talked a little bit about what you do and what we do. I would love to grab some coffee. Click here to schedule that time that works best for you. And I have a meeting link that's specifically for calendar for coffee, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then that sequence is sending a couple emails and reaching out on LinkedIn as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then when I enroll those people, so you're coming back from that event, I've scanned all their business cards from the HubSpot app. They're in my queue of new contacts to enroll in a contacts view, and I can just click, for example. So let me save this sequence, Rachel sequence. We'll say this one only for me. So let's say these three, I want to come here and enroll in a sequence, and I want to do the Rachel sequence, right?
Mm-hmm.
That gives me, I don't have to think about it. I can set the option, and it said Justin was already in a sequence. So let's do this one. So then I can say, if I'm doing it the day of and I really want it to go tomorrow because my first email says, hey, it was great meeting you yesterday, I can come here and say, do the specific action on Monday. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then when I enroll those contacts and it's saying I'm missing X content, Justin, update sequence, subject, HubSpot, and then company name, no idea. Okay. So then you can see here, it dynamically populated all those details in there. Okay. And so if you look,
Are you recording this session right now?
Yeah, I am. I hope I am. It's supposed to be.
Well, yeah, I'm not seeing. Oh, it's up at the corner. I see it.
God,
Sorry.
you scared me, Rachel.
Sorry.
All right.
Yeah,
So
I definitely need a copy of this one. This is.
so look,
I like this session.
it says, hey, Carter, I saw you on LinkedIn and thought we should connect. I also saw no idea recently in the news, and Justin didn't finish on a new contract. I didn't type out that at all. But this gives me the chance on the news about a new contract. Congrats on that. Okay. I have no idea my English there. So then I could literally, when I say enroll, so I'm going to say enroll this on a specific date. I'm going to remove this contact and just enroll Carter for the fun of it. With that going down, it's going to do this. It's going to initiate a call request right away. And then I'm going to say enroll, on Monday. So then from there, I'm going to say enroll. And what's cool is now, if I go into Carter's account, you'll see right here, this Carter is enrolled in a sequence. Here's my sequence activities. And you can see task number 1 is going to happen. It's upcoming. So if I go to my prospecting, all right, I'm not going to have anyone's here. It's only going to show me what I'm actually dealing with, right? This is how we can stay focused. We don't have to worry about what we're doing next. And I don't have a calendar connected in this demo account. But again, the idea is I should have enrolled somebody that was due today. Let's do that real fast. So let's go contacts. Let's go Justin at HubSpot. There, enroll, sequence. So what I'm going to do is HubSpot. Wow. This keyboard thing is really not my day. HubSpot, sales, prospecting, and company name is say HubSpot. Let's just add HubSpot, HubSpot, HubSpot. We're going to say create this immediately. So then start sequence. All right. So now with that, Justin's enrolled in a sequence as well. We get a awesome sequence reporting. So if I go here real fast and click on this, you can see I've enrolled 2 people. How many are opening, replying, how many have booked emails, and how many aren't responding, right? Yeah. So then I can get a very easy snapshot of how successful this sequence is going. And if I go back to my prospecting side, boom, now I have 1 call task. And you can see here, this is what's due today. I've got it over here, and it's saying, hey, you need to initiate this phone call, initial phone call. So if I clicked on it, boom, you can see how focused it is. There's no other distractions. I need to make the phone call. Boom. Let's call them. And I'm going to type my notes as I'm talking to them, right? And then when I mark that task as done, it's going to go into Boom. Yeah, it's not going to let me complete it because I don't want to make a phone call. But that's why you have your phone connected. Okay. Oh, it did let me mark it as completed. So now when I go back, all my tasks are done because the next thing that it's due is next Monday for that sequence person specifically. I don't have to think about it. So if I look here, you can see here, Justin made that call using the phone script. There was no notes taken. That's fine. But now, scheduled for this time, it's going to send an email. Hey, what did you think? Right? I can always pause that person. And then coming back to, I think I enrolled Carter. Let's look at Carter real quick. I can say, hey, he emailed me before I got a chance. Let me just pause or unenroll, and then no task were ever created. There's not this cluttered in your HubSpot portal. But sequences, a lot of people are scared that, hey, I need to send an email, make a phone call. Sequences gets that brain power out, and you just enroll the people when they need to be called, and you've got your sequences built out in the correct cadence, right? Like I'm going to call today, send an email today, and then I'm going to wait 3 days, or maybe you email right afterwards. It depends on what works in your business, but that sequence can help you specifically not have to remember, right? Because the goal is in some of these emails and sequences that you automatically have your meeting link in there. So when that person books the meeting, you're pulled out. And you don't have to worry about it. They're booked a meeting. You're just going to get ready for that meeting when they show up.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So the easiest thing to do is, instead of saying, I'm going to make everything a sequence, what's the one sequence that you're following up the most with? If it's post-event, if it's cold calling, build that sequence first and get the hang of it, and then start adding more sequences into it. Okay.
Yep. Okay. Cool.
Cool. Any other questions around that?
No. I'm just watching, learning.
Awesome. That's what everyone likes to do. No one likes to post questions. I don't like this. I want questions, folks. All right. Thanks, Rachel. Yeah, I'm going to show. Let's see here. Cameron, shoot me a chat. Are you more marketing or more sales or more ops side? And Lisa, if you're still there, shoot me, because I know Rachel's more on the sales side based on that question. Lisa, shoot me sales or marketing, because I'll show some things that are really cool in HubSpot. Both. Okay. So Cameron, you sound like my 7-year-old daughter. You can't say both to everything. You got to pick one. Which one's more important at this moment right now? Marketing. Awesome. Thank you. Lisa, are you still there? Well, that's okay. Compressors are running. What hub do you live in most? Because I was going to show some features of it. Marketing. Awesome. So Cameron also said marketing, and I know Rachel, we just had a bunch of good questions or back and forth on. With that, I'm going to jump into one of the new features called call to actions. There is a legacy version now of call to actions, and then there's also a new betas version. Everything will be migrated and closed down for legacy. They are working on a transition guide from legacy to the new ones, but the new CTAs are a lot better. It's more of a drag and drop feel. Instead of just saying, so for example, if I went here and created a legacy, it's really just an image or a button. That's all we get. We don't get anything else. We can't do anything creative. If we're doing like a side-by-side, left and right columns, this is very limited. It's great for doing emails or just maybe very simple call to actions. But let's say you wanted to do a very great call to action, a great call to action that looks pretty. Well, now in the new betas that will become, I want to say it's October, that will become the standard. All right. You can actually create beautiful. Look at these. It's got images and text. It's got side by side. It's got a little bit more creative flair. Yes, I said flair for all those office space people out there. We need flair, more flair. Okay. With that, you can even bring in forms now. So there's a lot more capabilities in what a typical call to action would be. So like, I love this one right here, download a free kit, because a lot of people put call to actions on blog posts, landing pages, or even in websites, right? A call to action to do something like, hey, download our free kit. Or I know a little bit about Rachel's business, download our 10 things to know about payroll, right? They can easily come in here. I can actually replace this with a lot prettier image. Boom, the toolkit, right? So let's rename this. Wow, what did you say? The toolkit, right? Oh no, it's not wide enough. See, this is where you would have to have a graphics person make it bigger. We can now go into the size and say, you know what, I want to make this 800, boom, and I want to make this spacing. And you can see it's the drag and drop fill of dragging things around. You know what, this image is really too big. Boom. We get an idea. We can still do the buttons to one of your pages, to a meeting link, to a file download for an email address, anything. So like if I said here, we'll do my JSON, get the toolkit today. Boom, style, let me style it. And you can see how simple it is. And I really, really like this new one. I've been migrating all clients over to this. The other cool thing too, is you can say, show me the margins and guides, just so you have an idea what's going on. It is responsive, pretty good. And then every CTA should always be assigned to a campaign. Never not do campaigns, because it gives you a very simple way to measure, monitor, and track. With that, the content, or on the design side, you can say do responsive, automatic height jump sense, or do a responsive layout or not. So you get that creativity. Instead of before, it was just an image that just loaded or a button. Now we can actually see and preview based on different sizes. I love this new tool. It is great. Beforehand, it took maybe a developer to involve to build a CTA. I really like this a lot. So let me, that is, Lisa, that is a great question. So the question is, Lisa asked, do you have to have a paid version of HubSpot marketing to access campaigns? I'm going to drop into one of my free accounts real quick and look at something. Yes, it is marketing campaigns, which what she was talking about was on that options side here. That is specifically underneath, that is underneath Marketing Pro. What I will tell you, anybody that does inbound marketing, or does any type of marketing, you need to be using Marketing Hub Pro. The reason being is when you do a marketing campaign, any type of an event, any type of collective assets, and the reason why I love this tool is if I said create from scratch, most people are like, well, what goes involved in a marketing campaign? The word campaign is really, in the marketing realm, is used completely different depending on what platform you're in. So if you're in MailChimp, campaign names are used there. If you're in ActiveCampaign, they use campaign as a single email send. It's really confusing. HubSpot is using the word campaign as a collective resource, which is what we are supposed to do as a marketer. If you ever used Google's UTM tracking campaigns, you're putting all your links underneath one campaign, because you should have a centralized reporting name. So if I said, this is my Hug Open Office, okay, I'm going to set Justin as the owner. I can set start and end dates, right, if I wanted to, or this might be an ongoing campaign. So when I hit create, this is why I love this tool. People are like, okay, now what? Well, I haven't generated any contacts. I haven't generated any deals. Oops, I didn't mean to click that. But if I click add assets, this is everything. Let me give it I got to draw, because this is like, I was on a podcast with the Hub Heroes team. This is literally, when you think of the word campaign, this is everything that should be involved in a campaign push. If you're pushing any type of inbound, if you're doing an event, there should be, let's get a little stamper here. There should be a blog post, maybe ads. You should definitely have call to actions. You should definitely be emailing people. You should have a form to register people. You should have a landing page talking about your event and the campaign. You should be using a marketing events tool that registers people who registered or show up to the event. You should definitely be doing social posts around it and workflows. Those are the ones that are really required because you might not be using HubSpot CMS on that side. Let me turn that one off and let me put, these are the more, I'm changing my colors here, the gold standards of using workflows, HubSpot lists and HubSpot web pages on that side. A marketing campaign should encompass all that. And I say that for a very specific reason. Let me pull up what a campaign really should give you an example of. Let me pull up another portal real quick. Yep. So here's an example of a live assets, my hub events. It's an old name, but you can see, hey, we've got all these call to actions. We have all these emails associated. We have these forms. We have a landing page. We have a workflow. We also have blogs around it as well. That is how we can easily track and measure and monitor the success of a single campaign push. The other great thing that I like about this, let's say you do a quarterly event and you need to push that quarterly event every time. Well, the first time you create and add all these assets, you can actually clone this campaign and it will clone all the assets for you and you can launch your campaign faster. This is why I love these kind of tools that actually help us execute faster instead of having to repeat tasks. Always think about how you can make things faster. So you are correct, Lisa. You have to have Marketing Pro or higher. That is a paid marketing campaigns feature. If you ever see, so my demo account is an enterprise account, so everything's there. But if you ever see the upgrade arrow next to something, that's what that is. You'll have to upgrade on that side. So two things that I just recapped. Campaigns, how and why you should be doing those. And then the new tool underneath lead capture called CTAs, which, let me go look at something real quick. CTAs are in the starter version as well. So they don't require paid, just so everybody knows that on that side. And if you do not have any legacy call to actions, you will not see the legacy option. You will only see the CTA beta version on that side. Just confirm that in a portal as well. So all right, we're almost at an hour. We've got another 30 minutes. This is for y'all. Okay. What questions do you have? Don't make me play Rocky of the Eye of the Tiger. Okay. I love it. No one made me play Eye of the Tiger. We got two questions in, and they came in at exactly the same time. So I'm going to jump to Cameron's question first, and his question was, how again do you get, like Cameron, I'm going to bring you off mute to make sure I fully understand it. Is it just accessing the Operation Hub's features, or how do you upgrade to it? I'm going to bring you off mute real quick and then stop my music in the background.
Yeah, I have a free account at the moment, and I was trying to get to it. It looked like you could use it for free, but I'm having trouble finding it once I'm logged in.
Yeah, so there is a free version of all the hubs that are very basic. What you can do, Cameron, is click on your teeny tiny picture. Okay. And when you go down to accounts and billings, it will tell you all the hubs you have. Okay. And when it's in the free, so the one confusion thing around marketing or operations hub is it doesn't have its own little screens. Okay. It's sort of built into and extends the capabilities of that. But if you had operations hub starter, okay, the things that you would see are very limited. Okay. Because you're not going to be able to get access to the sync, the data quality tool, the data quality, which here, let me show you this in y'all's screen real quick. So this account that I have up here called Sugar Creek has the starter operations hub. In the reporting, you're going to get access to integrations and data model. Okay, would just basically show you how things are functioning. In the contacts conversion side, you're not going to be able to access the data quality report, okay, or manage duplicates, okay. You can fix formatting issues, as you can see here, but there you won't have the automation side of things. This account is in, switch back over. This account does not have access to marketing or workflows or sequences. So you don't have the, when it's just in the starter side, you don't have access to the custom code or anything like that. So one thing that you can do with starter is from an automation standpoint of the form, you can go to forms. Let me edit this form, and you can do automation, and you can do a couple steps. You're limited to the actions, but you can do a couple things. And as you see here, I don't get any of the data options. Okay. So it's,
Gotcha.
Yes, you have it, but it's not, I mean, there's not any really features that you could honestly use. I'm looking to see what the free version even says it offers. So free says the two-way sync, the default mapping, and historical sync. Yeah. So what is that saying? That is saying when you go to the shopping place, the marketplace, the shopping icon, the marketplace. When I type in app, I could type in, say, Dynamics and sync Dynamics, and I can install it, and I could get historical reporting, but I would not be able to add in custom fields to that sync. Okay. That's where Pro comes in from an operations hub standpoint.
Gotcha. Appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. So with that, let me bring Rachel back up. And Rachel, so you want to talk about a further in-depth sequence on what you would do from a sales sequence? Okay.
Yeah, I would.
All right. Awesome. So this is typically, I'm pulling up another URL. So why did I build this one? What is this one? Let me edit. So call tasks, follow up 1 business day, conference, and then LinkedIn request, conference. Yeah. Okay. So when you want a better sales sequence, are you doing more outbound, or are you doing more follow-ups after networking?
Probably, yeah. I would like to see one for a follow-up after networking.
Nice.
Walk me through that again.
Okay. So one of the cool things HubSpot knows is that a lot of people do that. Event follow-up. Just click that sequence.
Wait, where was that? Wait, let me back up again. Sorry.
I like it. You get so excited. You're like, oh, wait.
All right, so I'm in sequences,
Yep.
okay?
So click create sequence.
Uh-huh.
And then on the left-hand side, if you scroll
Yep.
down,
Yep.
look for event follow-up.
Yep.
And then what it will say is it's going to generate some templates for us.
Yep.
All right. And then it's going to generate a connection task. And then it's going to send it's not, this is the only time it calls is 8 days later. Okay. Everything else is email and LinkedIn the first couple of days. Okay. So I say that to then, so let's just use this sequence and see how it would work. So if I say create, and you can see here at the top, this is, I'm trying to get my annotation out. This information right here at the top gives you a visual of how long it takes to execute. Okay. And what I mean execute, for somebody to go completely through it. Okay. And so here is, there's only 6 steps. The total delay is over 12 business days. And we can tell that by saying it's only running on business days, right? Execute only or turn it on. Okay. It was on. I accidentally clicked it off. So going here, I want to edit the email and say, we talked about the, like, hey, it was great meeting you at the placeholders. So placeholders in a template is what we have to input when we add somebody to the sequence. Okay. So, and we, as we discussed, we were able to provide companies like yours with a lot of different solutions, including solution 1, solution 2. Do you have some time this week? Because I'm really looking forward to our conversation. Now, this one is asking for a reply, and this is good. So we're going to update this sequence. It's going to generate that task next, and there's no delay. Okay, so after that email goes,
real quick.
Yeah.
I can also, in that automated email, let me open it up. How did you open it up?
click the actions and then click edit email.
I don't have an actions button.
Yeah, you do.
Seriously, I'm looking at it. I don't have an actions button.
Did you click create?
I'm in event follow-up.
Yeah, hang on. Let me get this. So you have to click on the create event follow-up. You're not going to see actions until you hit the create sequence at the top right.
Oh, geez Louise. Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah. Okay.
We all have to learn somehow. Okay.
Okay.
So then if I said edit email sequence, I want to change this to be our wording. Maybe I want to add a little bit of white space. The key here is in templates, you don't ever have to add your email signature. Okay. Because the signature is automatically populated in.
Yeah, it says at the bottom, it says edit signature. Is that where can I click it and it'll just show me that my signature that I want is in there?
Yep. So right here, this is my signature.
Okay, I'm gonna click mine, edit, because I feel like I did this before. No, I did not, because, all right, I know why I didn't. Okay, so I need to get my signature in there.
Yes. So that signature will and it's underneath emails. And then if you have any aliases or anything like that, and then click edit signature, that's what it looks like. And if you're fancy and you're a programmer, you can use HTML code, or you can just be simple like Justin.
And okay. This is perfect. I'm gonna do that right now. That was one of the things I wanted to make sure my signature was in there. Yep. Like it looks like it's coming from my email.
Yeah, but you could still say, so for example, my signature includes cheers, Justin. Maybe I don't want that always in my signature, and I removed it, but then I could actually come here and say, cheers, mate.
Yeah.
But this is where it's cool. I don't want to type in, because if, let's say Rachel, me and you are on the same team, I don't want to type in Justin, because then if you use this sequence, it's going to say, cheers, mate, Justin, right? Yeah. But what we might want to say is, let's insert the sender's name. So when you send it, Rachel, it says Rachel. When I send it, it says Justin. Okay. That's how this personalization dropdown works. Okay.
Yeah.
So then, cheers, mate, Justin, update templates. Carter, you're late. But with that, now we've built this sequence. Now check email number 2. And again, going back to the sequence here for the key here, it says pause sequence. We want this to pause the sequence because we don't want sequences just generating email after email. We want to make sure we are, as a human, are actually doing the task to keep the sales prospecting going, right?
Yeah.
And again, a big, huge note here is specifically go ahead and type in your connection message here. As this is saying, if you have Sales Navigator Pro, sorry, not Pro, what's the version?
I have LinkedIn Navigator.
Do you have Enterprise?
I think so. Let me see. Which again, that's a whole nother thing I'm trying to figure out. It says Sales Navigator. I'm clicking on it.
I'm trying to get to my Sales Navigator and I can't remember
Yeah,
how
how
to
do
get
I
to it.
know which version I have?
This is
It's got to be Enterprise because it comes from, I mean, my company bought it, right?
Yeah, they gave you a license probably.
Yeah.
So I don't see it either, Rachel, where it says what version you're on. But if you have Sales Enterprise, and I can walk you through the steps to see if it does, because one of the tasks you can do is generate a connection request task. And it does something, it helps you with that process. So you don't have to leave HubSpot. Okay. Instead of, and it's really cool. I don't think I have it in any of my portals right now, but let's just say, hey, this is what we want. And you know what? We really don't want to wait 3 days after we connect. I really want to do 2 days and then a 4-day follow-up. That sounds good. And then send a manual email. So this manual email, okay, what it's nice about this manual email is it will put a task in your queue and it will say send a follow-up, and then the template will pre-built. When you click email into that task, it will automatically drop this in, but it won't send it automatically. Okay, that's the difference between a manual email task versus an automatic email task. Okay. Then, hey, we're going to create one more task and it's going to say complete the sequence without a response. You can do those. You don't have to do an ending task. Okay. Honestly, this seems overkill. I'm just going to do that. Okay. So after email, LinkedIn, email, phone, email, if I don't get a response, they're done. So I'm going to say save it. Then I'm going to go enroll Mr. Carter here. We're going to hit next. And then I'm going to say conference is going to be the Franklin HubSpot conference. Okay. I'm going to pick on Carter. We talked about DevOps for HubSpot. And we also talked about ongoing consultant work. All right. So if I update the sequence, updating, because you have to fill in those placeholders. If we look here, it doesn't show that a placeholder anymore. This over here on the left-hand side, I'm trying to get my drawing back up, shows me the days that things will happen. Okay. And then this is saying, am I going to send it now? I can adjust this subject line, even though it came from a sequence. So like, hey, it was great to meet you. I could say specifically for Carter, Franklin conference, which makes no sense. Dude. All right. Dude. Yep. So I do this on purpose. So then people just don't copy me for word saying this is the best way to do it. They've got to pay attention. With that, you can see how it populated them in. Okay. And do you have time to connect? And since I adjusted my signature, it dropped in cheers, mate, Justin. Okay. Then I can go down and say, let's look at task number 2. Okay. There's nothing there. Look at email number 3. Oh, this one didn't have placeholders. It just had, again, this is why you look at every email in the sequence. I don't usually use the HubSpot template ones because I know what I'm trying to execute. and then the call task, and then the final email breakup task. Okay. With that, I would say start sequence, or because this is a cool thing. So let's say, Rachel, you go to a conference that is 4 days. Well, you don't want to trigger and say, hey, it was great to meet you at the conference. You could say, change this to always last week. And I'm doing it that night in the hotel room to trigger the next week, right? Because are they really going to reply instantly? And again, they might, depending on your lead. Like, hey, I know it's hot. Do you want to go get dinner? That's a different sequence than generic, like somewhat interested, right? You could create your sequences to be that kind of granular.
Okay. Yeah, this is good.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
The item that I'm talking about specifically on LinkedIn Navigator, Sales Navigator over here, because I don't have enterprise, or it's not just the pro level, it's the enterprise version. It will actually look for Justin based off this email address, okay, and say, is this the Justin you want to connect with? If so, boom, connect, and then I can do a connection request right here in the screen, okay, without ever leaving and going to LinkedIn. That's this box right here. So the easiest way to find out, Rachel, is go to a contact record, click here, click sign in, and it will pop up and get you to sign in. Oh no, y'all saw my password. It's 15 dots. Okay. That's always my password. But when you do that, it will tell you, if it pops up, a way to search for people, and you can select them and say, yes, that's them. And then this is what I want to send the connection with. Okay. Did that answer your question?
Yeah. Answered a lot of questions, but I definitely need this recording. Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I will upload it to YouTube once I get it back from Zoom, and then send out an email to those who attended to access.
That would be wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for coming. Let me know if you have another question. We got 15 minutes left, and I'm going to bring Cameron back up because he had another awesome question about a third-party platform called Associate. Let me bring you back up, Cameron. And I have heard a lot about Associate. What you got, Cameron? Well, I swear I said allow to talk. What's going on here? There we go.
Are you sure that was me and not somebody else? I don't know what Associate is.
Oh, you're right. Wrong one. I saw your question saying it's confusing. What was confusing? Let me ask that.
Oh, I was talking about
Yeah,
LinkedIn's titles.
Yeah. Yes, it is LinkedIn.
And then trying to find out what tier you are.
Yeah. Because at one point they were called like Sales Navigator Teams or something like that at one point.
It keeps changing.
It does. And there's a reason why, is because it's just not sticking. Awesome. Cool. All right. I'm going to take you back off mute, or put you back on mute. And then I'm going to bring up Carter to talk about his question. Carter, welcome, man, from the south of Tennessee.
Hey, Justin. Sorry I was a little late.
It's okay. It happens.
Yeah.
Tell me what you got. What's the question around Associate?
Okay. Do you use Associate in any of your portals?
No, I don't need to.
Okay. Yeah. I completely agree with that. Okay. You might be able to help me, maybe not. But basically, Associate has an action to help associate custom objects.
Yep.
I just don't understand how the interface works for it, because I need to build out a custom code action to take place of the Associate action. But I'm just so confused with the interface of the Associate custom workflow action. It's just way too confusing for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna say we're not gonna be able to tackle that, Carter. That's
no
something
problem.
I can help you with offline.
No problem.
Because that's a beast in itself. Just custom objects and the Associate.
It is very true.
So I'm with you. I wish it was easier to associate, but yeah, let me connect with you offline and we'll try to help
Done
you on
deal.
that side. Okay. Rachel, did you get the LinkedIn connected? You can just chat back. Chitty chat back. It looks like I have it. Awesome. So that's going to help you a lot with just streamlining your outbound connection. So again, the reason why is when you bring contacts into HubSpot, you want to make HubSpot your single source of truth. And the way to do that is to do all your actions in HubSpot. So the less tools we have to live in, the easier. So when I've got this and I don't have it connected, I can't tell you, Cameron. I'll answer that in a second. That's a good question. But when you do that, Rachel, you literally will have a task that says connect, market is complete, go to my next task, and you can streamline. Like our team was able to push through 700 contact connection requests. It was awesome. But we did it in a authentic fashion where it wasn't just all in one day. They did it over days because we had the task spread out. And it was very useful and straightforward for that standpoint on that side. So utilize that now that you've connected it. Sorry, I keep clicking on that screen. And we can go from there on that side. Okay. So if you have any questions, Rachel, just let us know. We do these every Friday. I had to move it from last Friday, but we do it every first Friday. We'll be sending out more emails. But like I said at the beginning of this, we're going to have 3 new topics coming out specifically for Hug events, and we're going to probably do some in person because I know a lot of us are local in Huntsville, so we might as well get to know each other's faces instead of staring at screens. So I'm going to bring Cameron back up to talk about this awesome question. What browser am I using and what extensions? Is that the question?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out like what's going on the left side there, like how you got their shortcuts. Because I thought you were using Swift, but that's not Swift.
No, what I will tell you is Carter recommends Arc and I recommend Brave. Okay. The Brave browser, I can easily see what tracking codes are installed. So when I'm helping clients with HubSpot tracking codes or anything like that, I can easily see if the code's installed, what other cookie codes are installed as well. Like for example, when I go to inbound, it gives me a number up here. It says 13. You can't see you can't see the pop-up. And then I can easily click in and say, okay, cool. What are the 13 tools they're using to easily understand? The browser extensions that Justin uses, I don't. So I've got just a few. I've got Grammarly, LastPass, and then HubSpot Sales as well. And then I have another one that I do for demos. Let me turn it back on.
Well, what lets you put the shortcuts on the left side there? Is that just the browser?
Yep, just the browser. So I can move it to, yeah, that's all. Move it to the right, move it to the left. It's called the sidebar for Brave is all it is. I don't do, instead of bookmarks, I love bookmarks. Don't get me wrong. I have a bunch of bookmarks. But what I noticed is every screen recording, I always had to turn my bookmarks off. And so it was just annoying. So I've got basically what I have here is my HubSpot dashboard, the HubSpot developer API that Carter and I live in. We talk a lot. And then I have a new tool called Simple Events to run all your marketing events. So you can see signups, check-ins, and it all syncs everything back to HubSpot. It's a lot of fun that way. But from your other question, so let me see if I did that. I don't think I did. I don't think I completed what I was going for. Extensions, HubSpot UI. Yeah. Oh, I know why that didn't work. Okay. So if I go back here, I got to reload. If I jump in here. Oh yeah, there it is. So I've got a little extension that gives me the highlighting capability section. So I can say like, look, this is what we're talking about. This is the activity feed. This is the left sidebar. right? So they can easily drive. Those are the
Mhm.
only extensions I use from that standpoint. But yeah, Brave, I love Brave. It's made my world a lot better. And it's built off of the Chrome browser. So it's still the Chrome engine on the back end. Just a lot less nuances.
Yeah, that's what it looked like, and it made me think you were using Firefox or something that's using that same
No,
software package.
I can't stand Firefox.
Yeah, I know it's a lot of people. Appreciate it.
Yeah, awesome. Good question. All right. Any other questions for the day? Before we wrap it up, let me know. We're 8 minutes till. This has been awesome. Rachel, I know you've asked for the recording. I will get the recording up on YouTube. I'm going to go ahead and log into my YouTube so I don't forget and get that out there. I do appreciate y'all showing up. We will have more. Always bring those questions as y'all did today. You had to warm up a little bit, but hey, I understand. I do appreciate your time today. I hope you got something out of it. And yeah, with that, that's it, folks. We're going to call it a wrap. I see no other questions came in. As I said, browser recommendations, Brave, Arc. Yeah, extensions, just the HubSpot sales extension, because then emails are automatically tracked from Gmail. Just to keep it simple. But again, I like to do everything in Gmail. And yes, that is a Hobbit door right there. Please do not knock my Hobbit door. It is great. It's got a lot of hidden goodies in there. With that, that is another successful wrap up of HubSpot open office hours for the Huntsville Hug. I do appreciate everybody coming. This is Justin Givens from Image in a Box, your Hug leader. If you have any topics, any questions, or anything you ever want to have, just shoot us an email over at hello@imageinabox.com. With that, y'all have a blessed and awesome Friday afternoon and a safe weekend. Cheers, mates.